In the Torah portion of Lekha, we meet Abraham. A lot of things go on. We have the battle of these different kings. We have Sodom and Gomorrah, and it's all jam-packed. A lot of things are going on. One of the interesting similarities between the Maggid of Zlotchov and Rabbi Yaakov Abuhatziera this week is that they read this text and they understand it both in a similar way, different to the way we read the text, and that is that they see it all as a battle between our evil inclination, or the evil inclination trying to bend man's will and to do, to go astray on the wrong path. So let's start with the Maggid of Zlotchov. So the Maggid of Zlotchov looks at a specific verse where the king Sodom says to Abraham, give me the people and you take all the possessions. Ten li nefesh ve'rechush kach lekha. Right, so the actual story is right. Abraham just won a battle. King of Sodom is very happy with him. He says, just leave me the people here, but you, take the stuff that are worthwhile. The Maggid says what's actually going on here, or what's implicit here, is that if you take the words Melech Sdom, King of Sodom, and you look at the Rashi Tevot, there's an acronym there, and that is SAM. And Sam is an abbreviation of, the sort of worst kind of angel possible that's sort of trying to always, suck life out of us and get us to go astray. And in fact, it is this Sam who is saying to our neshama, give me your soul, right? Give me your nefesh, give me your spirit. Sorry, Sam is saying to the neshama, give me your spirit, what's inside the body. And you can have all the worldly possessions you want, right? This is the greatest battle of all. And here's where Abraham says, I'm not touching it, right? The neshama is saying, no, I want to win this. So that's the Maggid of Zlotchov. Now, to give another example, and Rabbi Yaakov Abuhatziera, so a different verse, we are told earlier on in the middle of the battle that, the bad kings, they take all of the possessions of Sodom and Gomorrah, and then they bugger off. And Rabbi Yaakov Abuhatziera says, what in fact is going on here, what does it mean that they take all the possessions? He translates it differently. He says Sodom and Gomorrah, that are symbols or ontologically connected to the evil inclination and different aspects of it, it is Sodom and Gomorrah and the evil inclination that are sucking all of the mitzvahs out of us. And he says, here's what happens. He says, when a Jew, right, we know that he's Israeli, the chayut, the vitality of a Jew comes from keeping mitzvahs. When you keep mitzvahs, your neshama's heart is pumping and thumping with life. And then what happens when you do bad stuff, when your evil inclination overcomes, right, and succeeds, then all of your mitzvahs are transformed into a black void of nothingness. And this is what is going on here. He says, this is what you need to be wary of, that Sodom and Gomorrah, the biblical story that happened is actually setting the stage for a greater cosmic drama that happens to each and every one of us in our lives, this battle between the neshama and the evil inclination. And this, of course, ties in well with what the Maggid of Zlotchov is saying. They're both looking at the text, they understand the pshat, the simple meaning, but they're saying there's something deeper going on, and we want to understand how to use the story of Abraham, these battles of kings, to understand how we should be battling against the evil inclination. Thoughts on the Torah portion of Lekha. Shabbat Shalom.